Are you ready for a major water cut? No? Let's dive into why you should be. We're living in a world where water, one of the most basic necessities for life, is becoming scarce. It's a crisis that's creeping up on us, quiet but potent. This isn't a distant possibility, but a stark reality for around 2 billion people globally, who lack access to safely managed drinking water. That's nearly 1 in 4 people, grappling with water scarcity. Regions like Sub-Saharan Africa, Central Asia, and the Middle East are the most affected. But this isn't a problem confined to the developing world. Even developed nations like the United States and Australia are feeling the pinch, with major cities like Cape Town and Sao Paulo having come dangerously close to running out of water in the past. So, what's causing this water scarcity? There are 3 main culprits: climate change, overuse, and pollution. Climate change is altering weather patterns, leading to more frequent and intense droughts in some areas, and floods in others. Both extremes can deplete the availability of fresh water. Overuse is another major factor. As our population grows, so does the demand for water. For drinking, for agriculture, for industry, we're using water faster than nature can replenish it. And then there's pollution. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff, improper disposal of human waste. They're all contaminating our water sources, making them unfit for use. And here's the kicker. Water scarcity isn't just about not having enough water to drink. It affects everything, from food security to economic stability, from education to health. A shortage of clean water can lead to diseases, malnutrition, and even conflicts over resources. Water scarcity is a real and pressing issue affecting millions worldwide. It's time we all took notice. And not just take notice, it's time we took action. Because the next time you turn on your tap, you might find nothing coming out. And by then, it might be too late. What happens when the taps run dry? The impact is more significant than you might think. Imagine a world where water, a fundamental requirement for life as we know it, becomes scarce. The repercussions of such a scenario are far-reaching and affect various sectors, including agriculture, energy production, and human health. Let's begin with agriculture, the lifeblood of our food supply. Crops require water for growth, and without sufficient water, crop yields can plummet, leading to a substantial decrease in food production. This can result in food shortages, escalating prices, and ultimately, hunger. Livestock farming is also heavily dependent on water, not just for the animals to drink, but also for feed production. Hence, water scarcity can also impact meat and dairy production, adding another layer to the food crisis. Moving on to energy production, water is a vital component in many energy production processes. Hydroelectric power plants, for instance, rely heavily on water to generate electricity. Similarly, water is used in cooling systems for nuclear and coal-fired power plants. Without adequate water, these plants can't function effectively, leading to energy crises. Lastly, let's touch on the impact on human health. Water is essential for maintaining hygiene and sanitation. A lack of clean water can lead to the spread of waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Additionally, without enough water, hospitals and healthcare facilities can struggle to provide effective care. It's not just about quenching our thirst. Water scarcity can also lead to a lack of proper sanitation, which can further exacerbate health issues, leading to a cycle of illness and disease. This becomes even more critical in densely populated areas where sanitation needs are higher. The ripple effects of water scarcity go beyond what we see on the surface. It influences the food we eat, the energy we consume, and the health services we rely on. It's a domino effect that can disrupt our way of life in ways we may not even realize. Without water, our lives and the world around us would be drastically different. If we continue on our current path, the future looks dry. Very dry. Imagine a world where the few drops of water we take for granted become a luxury. A world where more than half of the global population could be living in water-scarce regions. According to a report by the United Nations, by the middle of this century, around 2/3 of the world's population could be under water stress. Water scarcity isn't just about the lack of water, it's about the lack of clean, safe, accessible water. This scarcity could lead to a surge in water prices, making it unaffordable for many. It could also lead to an increase in diseases due to poor sanitation and hygiene. But it's not just about health, it's also about peace and stability. We've seen how conflicts can arise over oil. Now imagine how much worse it could get when the fight is over something as basic and essential as water. The World Bank predicts that water scarcity could spur conflicts and migration on a scale we've not seen before. However, it's not all doom and gloom. We have the power to change this. We can adopt sustainable water management practices, invest in water-efficient technologies, and change our water consumption habits. The future is in our hands. We can choose to act now and avert a water crisis, or we can face the consequences of our inaction. Let's choose to act. Let's choose a future where water is cherished, not squandered. Major water cuts are not a distant possibility but a reality for many. Are you prepared? The first step to prepare for water cuts is to reduce our water usage. This can be as simple as taking shorter showers, turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, or using a broom instead of a hose to clean your driveway. Next, consider storing water. This doesn't mean hoarding countless gallons in your basement, but rather keeping a few containers of purified water at hand for emergencies. Water storage is a measure of last resort and should only be used when absolutely necessary. Investing in water-efficient appliances is another excellent way to prepare for water cuts. These appliances use significantly less water than their traditional counterparts. Low-flow shower heads, dual-flush toilets, and water-efficient dishwashers are just a few examples. They may be a bit more expensive up front, but they will save you water and money in the long run. And finally, let's not forget about the power of rainwater harvesting. Collecting and using rainwater can significantly reduce your dependence on municipal water supplies. It's free, it's sustainable, and it's easier than you might think. Preparing for water cuts is not just about survival, but about taking responsibility for our planet. Because at the end of the day, every drop counts. In the face of a water crisis, we must all do our part to conserve this precious resource.